So today we're speaking to former Swiss beauty pageant contestant Beatrice Keul, who is a woman who's accused Trump of forcibly groping her at his American Dream pageant in 1993, where she also claims to have met Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, you might have seen the New York Times article all about Beatrice's account. She says Epstein came up to her and introduced himself as Don's best friend. And she was also the 28th woman to accuse Trump of sexual misconduct. And there are actually 8 other women associated with Trump's pageants who have accused him of wrongdoing too.
And Beatrice joined by audio. She didn't want to show her face because it's just such a difficult story for her to share.
So, Beatrice, thank you so much for joining us today. We think your story is so important, so we can just kind of get right into it. So, first of all, how did you get invited to attend Trump's America Dream pageant in Atlantic City?
Well, first, thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate so much your work. It's great what you are doing. So back to my story. Just after Miss Switzerland and Miss Europe, I got this personal invitation from Donald Trump to attend his Donald J. Trump American Dream beauty pageant that took place in Atlantic City and in New York City. The Atlantic City, it was in his casino, and in New York at the Plaza.
And how old were you at the time? Can you kind of set the scene of where you were in your career and how did you feel when you were invited to this pageant?
Yes, I was 23, and in those 90s, Trump had very good media, and they called him Mr. New York, you know, the billionaire of New York. Media was very positive in those years about him. And therefore, of course, many people were excited also around me. Oh my God, you know, New York, the American Dream. So all the components were there, and I was excited too, I must honestly say. It was my first time in New York, and I was hoping that it would be a great experience.
Wow. And so then when you got here, what were the first few days of competition like?
Well, actually, the competition started very normally with registration, general information, meeting the girls, and meeting also the organizers. So nothing special, no special sign, no nothing to worry or, just a normal competition. But I was still very confident at the very beginning.
And would you see Trump around? This was obviously his pageant. Like, would you see him around? Were people talking about him a lot? What was his reputation like at the pageant?
Well, of course, people were all talking about him, and he was not there yet. He came in New York at the Plaza, but of course, everybody was talking about him, and we were looking forward to meet him.
So tell us about that meeting. How did you meet Trump? We know this was at the Plaza portion. Did he come up to you?
Well, it was like crazy. He came and he came straight to me, and I was so shocked because I thought, oh my God, what's going on here? Everybody was watching. He came directly and he said, finally we meet, Miss Cool. He couldn't say my name. And we were also laughing. You know, in those years, he was young, he was good looking, he was charming. And I felt honored because that's not nothing. At that point, I still didn't know that this is a jungle, you know. I was like Heidi, landing in the jungle and knowing nothing. And he was asking me many questions. We had a nice small talk. What are my plans and where exactly I was from in Switzerland. And he knew a few things with Switzerland, but I was not sure if he's not mixing with Sweden. So I was not sure. But anyway, we continued talking, and yeah, he was excited, and I was excited too. I found him at that stage, at that moment, interesting, and that's why he made me also confident in a certain confidence, and I trusted him. You know, I trusted him, and we talked, and everybody was watching at a certain stage. He said, "I will send you someone later on, and we will continue this discussion."
Right. So we do know that later you were invited to have a private meeting with him. Who came up to you to present that? And can you kind of walk us through that story?
Well, actually, it was someone from his entourage. He said, Mr. Trump would like to see you. And as he told me that we are going to continue this conversation, he said, follow me. I followed, like blind, you know.
Yeah.
We went to the elevator, and we went on the street floor, and in front of the room, of the door, he said, it's your turn. I was surprised. I did not really understand what he meant. And then he opened the door. I went in, still confident. I thought, okay, we will have maybe Kaffeekuchen, as we say here, naively. We are going to sit at the table and talk, and voila, we continue the discussion. And I just entered. I saw this beautiful suite with great furniture, 5 stars, and I was happy at this stage. And a few seconds later, before I even turned, because I didn't see him, I was looking left, I was looking right, I was looking everywhere. I didn't see him. When I turned, he jumped on me like a wild animal. It was like Jekyll and Hyde. All of a sudden, he was a predator. All of a sudden, there was no discussion anymore. It was violent. It was quick. It was intense. I was screaming. I was yelling. I was trying everything I could. I partially was able to defend myself, but not really. And it was bad.
Yeah, we can imagine. Like, what was going through your mind at this point, and why do you think you were able to fight off his advances?
I only partially was able to do so. He's tall, he's strong. The only thing I was thinking was, Mon Dieu secours. That's God help me. That's the first thing that I was thinking. God help me. And then I think I had a moment where I froze, where I was totally blocked, and I couldn't do much either. And I was screaming for help, and nobody came. It's maybe better if we don't go into details, because otherwise we have to cut it. I'm sorry for that.
No,
No.
yeah. Can you tell us? So this happened. Obviously, Trump attacked you. What made him stop? What happened after? Did you guys go back to talking? Did you run away? Can you walk us through the rest of the story?
I do not know what made him stop. Maybe because I was praying. I do not know. I will never know. And when he finally stopped it, this nightmare in our conversation, first he threatened me. He clearly told me that I have to keep quiet. And he said that, otherwise bad things can happen to me.
Wow.
So I was ready to listen. I was ready to say everything he wanted me to hear, so that I leave this room alive and in peace. He also added that the show must go on. And when he said that, I thought, my God, is this America? The show must go on. How can a show must go on? We have 1 week, so we have to find a solution, he said. And the solution is me being quiet. So I promised him that I'm going to keep quiet. I was in a foreign country, and he was very powerful already and very well known. So because he threatened me, I kept quiet, and I
Oh my
couldn't talk to
God.
anybody. I couldn't talk. Nobody was talking. We were competitors. We were not friends. We were not, I had no friends there. I had no family there. I had no one there. So my only alternative was to keep quiet. And as he said, the show must go on. So I did what he told me to do.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for just sharing that with us. It's hard for us to hear, so we can just imagine how hard it is for you to relive it when you talk about it. And can you tell us, how did you ultimately get out of that situation with him in the suite? And did you have any other interactions with him at the pageant?
Well, I had no choice than to go back and do as nothing happened. And the event continued. There were several events happening as well, and I had to be quiet. I had no other choice, hoping that if I keep quiet, I could still take a flight back home, and then this nightmare would be finished.
Yeah. Well, we know that you also met Jeffrey Epstein at Trump's pageant. How did that happen? How did he approach you? Can you tell us what happened with Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, actually, just after Trump came to me and made this introduction and all this show, and so Jeffrey Epstein came, and it was kind of a game, for them. He did the introduction, and then Jeffrey Epstein came to do the job. He introduced
Mm.
himself, like Don's best friend. So I was again confident. I thought, okay, maybe he's part of the organization. And then he said that Don likes me very much, and that he would like me to come to their party that they're organizing in Mar-a-Lago,
Ugh.
and that he would take care of everything. And he was insisting you just have to pack, and he takes care of everything, of flights, of hotel, everything. Just come and have fun at parties at Mar-a-Lago with Don. That was his main topic. And then he saw that I'm not really convinced because I was here for a beauty contest. Why should I go to another party if I am here? For
Yeah.
me, it was very, very strange. And then he went on. I can introduce you my billionaire friends, and I can introduce you a prince, and everything was weird and everything was strange. And we call that a bluffer, someone
Hmm.
who just takes out whatever, just to bring you somewhere. But for me, in my head, it was the entire time, it was clear this is very strange because if he wants me to do something, what is the counterparty? When is he going to tell me? What does he want from me? But he didn't tell me that. He didn't want to tell me. Just come, I will take care of you. And he was really persistent. And he even said with Prince Andrew that I have the caliber, for this Liga. So
Oh no.
he kept going on and going on. At a certain stage, I thought maybe he's going to bring me 1 million, to convince me. Yeah, he was very, very weird. I must say, this guy, from the second I saw him, I didn't trust him. He didn't
Mhm.
look like a millionaire. He didn't act like a millionaire. And everything he wanted is me taking me away from here and bringing me somewhere. And
Right.
I just didn't want that, first of all. And second, I didn't see why I should follow a guy I have never seen in my entire life, you know? And it was, he was persistent. And at the end, he almost got mad because I didn't give him my number. And he said he will get it from Dawn, So weird, strange, impossible to trust. For me, with my eyes, just impossible to trust. And what was very strange is they were keeping smiling to each other, So for all those who think or who still doubt that they know each other, I'm telling them just one thing. Oh, yes, they were besties. They were besties, and not only besties, but you have to imagine the fact that Trump paid for this event and he let Epstein come and hunt on his ground. And he was hunting girls. After me, he went and he was talking to others. So yes, they knew each other. Yes, they were best friends. And not only that, but they were complicit and they were acting together. And they were not only two predators in this beauty pageant, but they were three. There was another third guy who was trying exactly the same. I will take care of you, big promises. And there were three of them. In other words, Trump allowed not only one other predator, but two other predators to hunt on his ground. And they were all together. And this is what we call organized crime, you know? This is when they are one, two, and three. This is organized crime. It's a group of people who knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what they wanted, and it was clear we were fresh meat.
And it makes so much sense that you did not want to share your story after what Trump threatening you. Did you hear any other women there talking about having a similar experience?
Actually, from that event, I do not know. I know the other 27 women against Trump. There are many more victims that the public doesn't know who contact me regularly and who are trying to get in touch with legal contacts, who are trying to get in touch with groups of help. And it's from around the world. It's not just Americans. There are different nationalities. And I think we will never have the exact number of women that had this experience with Trump.
No, we're really glad that you mentioned that this is an international operation, because in all of these Epstein file drops that we're seeing more and more how this sex trafficking was in Australia, was all over Europe. Have you, since you've come out with your story, heard more from women in Europe, just learning more about their operation and trafficking internationally?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We are, even here in Switzerland, we had last December a very good article in the NZZ Neue Zürcher Zeitung, which is the pendant from your Washington Post. And the journalist there has done a great investigation job. He has found human trafficking out of Switzerland to Epstein, banking contacts, and more. You cannot imagine the shock of Switzerland discovering all that. And France is going through the same way. Spain, UK, Germany, Italy, there are names coming out, there are victims coming out. The ramification is immense, and it's worldwide. It's not US, it's not Australia only, it's really worldwide.
Yeah, and for you, so you came out with your story a year ago. What made you want to come forward with it? Like, why was it so important then for you to finally tell your story?
Well, for me, at the beginning, I thought it was just my story. I thought it's just a personal story and it's going to end there. And when I opened the Pandora box, I didn't know, that there are so many victims out there. And what I think at this stage is important is that our society stands up, in order to save our children and your children.